Welcome back to the Citizen Channel and our little thank you, our little look at the time of one of City's greatest goalkeepers. Certainly medal-wise, there's no one to compare even in the Premier League era with our Ederson, of course. This is part 3, guys. Make sure you watch part 1 and 2. This little tribute, this little thank you to Ederson as he's gone on to pastures new. So before we have a quick look, please, if you are new to the channel, hit those buttons, hit that subscribe button if you're not already done so, hit the like button if you like your City history, if you like your City modern stuff. I do everything old and new, so it'd be great to have you on board. Spread the word if you can, guys. And on YouTube, they have a hype button, don't they? Or they certainly do as I'm recording this. I mean, who knows what might happen. But if you can spare us any hype points, it all helps the algorithms and stuff like that. So if you can do that for me, guys, that'd be most appreciated. Right, let's have a look at this. In part 2 that we looked at, Eddie picked up the 2019-20 Golden Glove Award, despite City just picking up a Carabao Cup this season, which was a little of a come down after the formidable season. Things would improve, of course. Eddie and City would bounce back, but suffer disappointment, though, at this season's finale, even though things did go better. Zach Steffen was the new domestic keeper this season to keep Eddie on his toes. After conceding 5 in a shock 5-2 home defeat to Leicester on the 27th of September, he was City's man of the match, Ederson, in a 1-1 draw at Ellen Road. Stuart Brennan of the Manchester Evening News rated him an 8 out of 10, citing the main reason: 6 top-class saves he made on the day. Not many teams would put that many shots in against us, would they? But his form as the teams was in general was a little bit in and out as City started the season behind closed doors, of course, because of COVID, very poorly. Though he got credit from Simon Bukowski for his 7 out of 10 performance in a tight 1-1 home draw with Liverpool on the 8th of November, where it was said in a busy game he rose to every challenge. Gideon Brooks for the Express said his performance was commanding and brave. After 8 games, City sat a poor 11th and flopped at top of the table Spurs. Yes, it didn't last long. 2-0 at the end of November. Ederson culpable for at least one of the goals in a sort of rated 5 out of 10 performance from Eddie. But for City and Eddie, this was perhaps the lowest point of this Premier League season. We would have other low points, but it would get better in the league. City qualified early, though not convincingly, for the Champions League round of 16. And he sat out the final group game, a 3-0 home win over Marseille on December the 9th. At the turn of the year, as City climbed the table, he missed a 3-1 win at Chelsea with a virus, and as City hit top spot in late January, he had kept 10 clean sheets in 11 Premier League games since the reverse at Spurs. That run ended at Liverpool on the 7th of February, though it mattered little, as City scored 4 to Liverpool's 1. And that was a Salah penalty, no surprise. And it was his Brazilian nemesis Alisson who was at fault for conceding in a 4 out of 10 performance for that Liverpool goalkeeper. In his next outing, he added to his assist column in a 3-0 home win over Spurs on the 13th of February. His 80-yard kick led to Gundogan adding his second and City's third goal. Sam Bukowski rated him a 9 out of 10 and said it was a phenomenal assist. David McDonnell of the Mirror had a piece in the Daily Mirror called Guardiola's still in safe hands. He'd rated him an 8 out of 10 for this game. He said Pep Guardiola worked with 2 of the best keepers of the modern era in his glittering spells at Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Victor Valdez and Manuel Neuer were key figures in Guardiola's success at both clubs, helping him to a hat-trick of league titles, and in the case of the former, 2 Champions League triumphs. At City, Ederson is the latest keeper, integral to the Spanish manager's success. The Brazilian stopper produced an outrageous assist for City's third goal at home to Tottenham, a pinpoint delivery taken down, dispatched by Ilkay Gundogan for the second of his 2 strikes. Ederson's passing range is so good that Guardiola has often said he could easily play outfield, while not dismissing him as the answer to City's penalty problems. Although the Etihad #1 did not get the chance to show off his spot kick prowess, with Rodri unconvincingly dispatching City's first half penalty, he was hailed by Guardiola. With the feet, he's the best, said Guardiola. I'd say the quality of the pass is the best. The way he can read which men are free, Manuel and Victor were incredible too, but for the quality of the pass, he's the best. I would not say who the best is, because the success I had in the past was because we had three incredible keepers in Victor, Manuel and now Eddie. But he's a great example with the credit he has from staff and players. He's outstanding. He knows it. If you want to get credit to be recognised, then win games and win titles and you'll get it. If you don't win titles, you won't get it. It's no more difficult than this. Well said, Pep. Stuart Brennan also wrote after the Spurs game about Ederson and the possibility, of course, which was mentioned there, of trusting the big man with penalties. He wrote this a piece in the Manchester Evening News, headed Ederson still not answer to City's spot of bother. He wrote, Pep Guardiola says Ederson's brilliant drilled assist for Ilkay's second goal against Spurs makes him a possibility of City's penalty taker. But the Blues boss is still reluctant to allow the Brazilian to take on the job and is concerned the issue is still not settled. Rodri was the latest Blue to take a spot kick. He scored, but his low shot struck Spurs keeper Hugo Lloris's outstretched hand and ricocheted up into the net. Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez have all missed penalties. And after Gundogan's failure in last week's 4-1 win at Liverpool, Guardiola said that the joke of saying Ederson was a candidate had become only half a joke. Ederson is one of the sweetest strikers of a ball at the club, and he underlined that by arrowing a pass more than half the length of the field to send Gundo away for a killer third goal. Guardiola admits he is still concerned about the penalty situation, but was not sure that Ederson is the solution. I would say if he's able to make this assist for 70 yards from 10 metres, it is easier, he said. The quality of the... I thought it was 12 yards. The quality of the shot, Eddie is the best, but penalties are completely different. I'm so delighted for Rodri for the courage to take it, but it was not good. I have to reflect because with the Champions League, these kind of situations when you miss it's so hard and we don't have a real specialist to take it. There were hiccups on the way, home losses to United and Leeds, but Ederson was stand out as City pulled away at the top of the table, and he watched on from the bench as City lost in the FA Cup semi-final and then beat Spurs in front of some fans in the Carabao Cup. I was there, that was a good game. In the Carabao Cup final, both at Wembley. Revenge for 81 at last, as we celebrated a League Cup 4 in a row. As City completed a 4-1 aggregate win over PSG on the 4th of May, it was a booming pinpoint pass to Zinchenko that helped create City's first goal in a 2-0 win at the Etihad to put City into our first ever Champions League final. Within a few days, the Premier League title was back at the Etihad, and Ederson got a rest in a 4-3 win at St James's Park on the May the 14th. And his replacement, a certain Scott Carson, wonder what happened to him. In the final home game of the season, Sergio's farewell in front of some lucky fans, lucky enough to win the lottery to get to this one. He kept a clean sheet, though he only accomplished this with a penalty save. Diving to his right, he kept out a Gylfi Sigurdsson penalty. This was a significant clean sheet, more of that in a moment. Ederson was asked on his thoughts about the upcoming Champions League final in a Joe Bray piece for the Manchester Evening News. Ederson says individual mistakes could decide the Champions League final, so he has urged his teammates to cut out the errors that characterised Manchester City's two recent defeats by Chelsea. Pep Guardiola will surely name a stronger team in Porto compared to both of these defeats, but there's no doubt that Tuchel has improved Chelsea since replacing Frank Lampard, and that is evidenced by their journey to the Champions League final. So the Brazilian goalkeeper is calling upon his teammates to give Chelsea few opportunities to capitalise on their mistakes as he plots a way for City to win a first Champions League. I don't think there is one favourite, he said. In just one game, it's 50-50. Both teams are very capable of winning it. I think it's going to be a very tough game. Chelsea are a great team, well managed and with fantastic players. I think it's going to be a very competitive game, and I hope it's a great game to watch for the fans. It wasn't. I think Frank Lampard started their process and Thomas Tuchel continued it. Obviously, they have improved a lot since Tuchel took over. They reached the final of the FA Cup and the Champions League. They have ended up in the top four, so you can tell the job he's doing is paying off for them. He's doing an amazing job. Their defensive consistency has improved a lot. They're very strong defensively, and offensively they have a lot of resources as well. I think Tuchel had a great impact on the growth of Chelsea. Unfortunately, in the last two confrontations against them, we were defeated, but I think we played well overall. Obviously, we made mistakes that can't happen in the final, but I think the team is ready. We weren't. If the team keeps playing the good football we have been playing over the last 6 months, I think we have a lot of chances to win the game. Of course, being a final, a Champions League final, it's a completely different story. I hope the team can be focused and play a good game to get that final win. Yes, he also reiterated that if he went to pens, he would be willing to step up. In a chat with Stuart Brennan, he said, in February, Guardiola said his joke about letting Ederson take penalties had turned into only half a joke after Ilkay Gundogan became the third player to miss one this season, with Sergio Aguero recently becoming the fourth. Ederson has reminded Guardiola of his words and makes plain he will be up for taking one. If the final goes to penalties, I'm going to ask if and take it because I'm ready for it, Ederson told the Manchester Evening News. In training sessions, sometimes I practice taking them like if I was in a game. It's true that our scoring rate on penalties isn't the best. We missed some during the season, but the team is ready for any outcome during the game. I hope we can win the game and win the title no matter which way we do it. His ferocious penalties in the training sessions have his fellow keepers wincing every time, as Scott Carson revealed to Manchester Evening News Sport this week. But his main job tonight will be to do his best to ensure the game does not go to a shootout, or if it does, to emerge as the hero. He warmed up nicely for the role on the final day of the Premier League season. He hurled himself to his right to keep out Sigurdsson's effort. That was his first penalty save in over 3 years. The last being when he stopped Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's effort for Arsenal in City's 3-0 win at the Emirates. But his record on penalties, 7 saved out of 46, is twice as good as that of his opposite number, Edouard Mendy, who has managed to keep out just 2 from 26. And Mendy's own penalty save in the Premier League was from Sergio Aguero's calamitous dollied attempt at a Panenka that finished Chelsea's recent win at the Etihad. Ederson was determined to keep out Sigurdsson's spot kick because the whole squad was desperate for a big result to send Aguero off in his final home game on a high. I saved a penalty on Sunday after a long time, he said. It's something you work on. You do your preparation before the game. I work in every circumstance that can happen during the game. That also trained and prepared. It's good to be prepared in case it happens, be ready to do it. I work hard in every training session to give me my best chance in the match. I always analyse the possible penalty takers, do you? I was really happy for saving the penalties and contributing to keeping another clean sheet. It was a great game, a great result and a great celebration for us. It was a great way to say goodbye to Aguero. He deserves it for everything he has done for the club and for City. Goalkeepers often seem to be the only people on the planet who relish a penalty shootout as it offers the chance to be a hero, but rarely the villain. And Ederson says, it's definitely better to be saving than taking, adding it's a mix of feelings both for the penalty taker and the goalkeeper. I would say it's even better for the goalkeeper because if the keeper manages to save a penalty, it's a boost of confidence for the rest of the shootout. They're also great penalty takers and they are very difficult to save. Yeah, you met a few, mate, haven't you? The biggest happiness for a goalkeeper is to save a penalty. It is. It's what happened to me on Sunday. That after a long time, I saved a penalty again. Yeah, I bet you were chuffed. Sadly, no clean sheet. And no penalties, of course, in this Champions League finals. We went down 1-0 to Chelsea. Eddie acquitted himself okay. He was fine in the final. Stuart Brennan rated him a steady 6, said this of his performance. A 70-yard pass to Sterling nearly came off, but was repeatedly exposed. But he was repeatedly exposed by a stretched defence. He did, though, retain the Golden Glove, as Chelsea's Mendy was unable to match his tally. So some compensation for him, at least, after that Champions League defeat, although no compensation at all, really, was it? His season stats, he made 36 starts in the Premier League, 19 clean sheets, very impressive, over 50%, and 1 assist. Yeah, he got 1 assist this season. Champions League, he's made 12 starts. So join me in part 4 of this little thank you to Ederson, where we join Eddie for season 2021-22, and Pep shows faith by giving Eddie a new contract. But all is not plain sailing for Eddie or City, so join me then, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Please smash those buttons if you like the content and you do want to help support the channel in other ways, or you just want to follow me on my various socials. Just give us another few moments to stay watching and listening.
Thanks for that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the feature anyway, and please, if you can, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, that'd be wonderful. And if you're not already a subscriber, it'd be great if you could subscribe. It's absolutely free. Also, check out all my social media links. Will be in the description and comments below if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. We can chat on there and do all things City, of course. Also, if you're into film and TV, don't forget a lot of this channel is film and TV stuff. I love me film and TV like I do City. So if you're into that, have a look. Or even though someone who might not be that bothered about the football but likes film and TV, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very grateful. And special thanks as ever to supporters of the channel. Piat6505, they've got a little eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia mainly, including books, magazines, posters, lots of posters, and they do have some City stuff as well that they've purloined off me over time, so there'll be a few bits and pieces, probably more going on as well, so have a look at Piat6505 on eBay. And yes, if you do go onto eBay, and if you're a member, we do have memberships, 99p a month. You get early access to all my vlogs, so as soon as I do them, you get them. Sometimes it could be months before they're published generally, so a lot of the history stuff, so you have access, the membership gives you access to that. It gives you 10% extra off at Piat6505 if you want to buy any of that memorabilia, so that you can actually gain that from being a member and support the channel. That's a great way of supporting the channel, of course, like watching the ads on the original thing that you've seen now, my original feature. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, also before we go, podcasts. If you like your podcasts, I do a podcast with Mike Long in South Korea. It's called Bolt from the Blue, in our 8th season. Yeah, we've had some good fun on there. We're trying to have a bit of humour, generally look at City's games as and when we play them, have a look back. So please check out that. It's on Soundcloud, Spotify, all good places you get your podcasts from. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed everything about this feature, and you didn't mind me asking you about this at the end. And please, all I ever ask for you is to stay safe, everyone, especially you Blues.